Hello, I'm James Harvey, the professor of music theory at the College of Southern Nevada with 5-minute music theory. Let's begin that 5-minute timer. This is a video on notes, specifically note heads and stems. I'm going to write 3 notes just like we've been writing them up till this point. If you watched any or all of the videos up till this point, these are what the notes that we've written have looked like. They just sort of look like simple little circles. Notice that these notes, these circles, are the same height as the space between the lines in the staff. So if I write a note that looks like this, that's way too big. That's a no-no. And then if I write one that is like this, it's too small. That's also not going to be sufficient. It needs to be that same size as the distance between the lines on the staff, whether the note is on the line or in the space between the lines on the staff. So these are what are known as note heads. We have 3 of them that I've written here on the staff, each at a different pitch. We don't even need to worry about clefs for this video. We're just talking about the different portions of the notes, and these are the heads. Some notes consist of just heads like this. They're little hollow circles, and they don't have anything else. But most notes will also have another portion to them, and here's an example of these. We'll write it like this, and like that. So now I've written 3 notes that have both heads and stems. I don't really need to write the arrows because I think you can figure that out. But we've written 3, or I've written 3 stems there as well. And that makes 3 notes that have both heads and stems. Let me get rid of these arrows so that I can be a little bit more clear. Notice that the stems can change direction. And we'll talk in a later video about what the stems really mean. This is just kind of showing you the different aspects of the notes that you'll see. The stems always point at the middle of the staff. So if I write a note that's right in the middle, like that one that I just wrote, that note without the stem, stems always gravitate towards the middle. That's why any note that's below the middle, like this, will have upward facing stems. Anything that's above the middle, like this, or like this, will have downward facing stems. When you have a note that's exactly in the middle of the staff, really it's okay to write the stem either direction, but it's a little bit more generally accepted that the stem's going to go down like that. Now we'll talk about in a later video about the specific lengths of the stems, and there's a few more sort of specific rules behind stems when we get a little bit further into it, but basically that's the idea behind stems. Now there's a couple of other kinds of note heads that exist as well. So what we have here, all of these note heads are hollow. They're like circles that are not filled in. Some note heads are filled in, like this and like this. And that just changes the duration of the note. And in a video soon to come, we'll talk about note durations and how the heads and the stems have to do with those specific durations. But really when it comes to note construction, the only things that we really need to worry about are these heads and then the stems, and then when we get into a little bit more complex notes a little bit later, we'll add on top of that. But as far as the basics go, those are the 2 aspects that we really need to know about as far as notes go. Thank you very much.